saw you drifting in slow motion, but I told myself you'd come back near. Every step you took away from me, I called it space, not fear. I should have asked the harder questions, the ones that make the silence break. But I kept choosing to stay gentle, even when my heart would shake. You gave me signs I didn't challenge, you gave me distance I didn't fight. And I kept waiting for the right moment that never showed up in time. I thought being patient was love, I thought not pushing was kind. But now I see I mistook silence for everything being fine. I didn't stop you when I should've, and now I can't rewind. I didn't push enough when I still had your attention. I didn't push enough to reach the truth behind your silence. I let the space between us grow while telling myself it would adjust. I didn't push enough, and now it's just us I've lost. I should've pulled you closer, instead I let you slip away. I didn't push enough. You weren't loud about the ending, you were quiet in your way. And I mistook your fading presence for something you'd explain someday. I could have asked you what was missing, I could have said I'm scared of this, but I held back every emotion, like it might disappear if I insisted. Now I replay every hesitation, every chance I didn't take, the moments I chose observation instead of trying to change fate. And I see it in full clarity, not what you did but what I didn't do. Because losing you didn't happen suddenly, it happened when I stopped reaching you. If love needed louder effort, I whispered when I should have run. I didn't push enough when I still had your attention. I didn't push enough to reach the truth behind your silence. I let the space between us grow while telling myself it would adjust. I didn't push enough, and now it's just us I've lost. I should've pulled you closer, instead I let you slip away. I didn't push enough. Maybe I was afraid of breaking you, so I let us quietly break instead. Maybe I thought understanding you meant never asking what you left unsaid. But love isn't only gentle waiting, sometimes it's refusing to let go. Sometimes it's asking one more time, even when you don't wanna know. And I didn't do that, I just watched and hoped, and now I understand. Hope isn't always enough. I stayed too soft when it mattered, and now I feel the cost. Because silence doesn't protect love, it just shows not one big moment, just me not doing enough. I thought love needed patience, but sometimes it needed pressure. And I gave you neither when you needed someone to hold on tighter than I did. I used to look at us through questions, through hopes that blurred what wasn't there. I kept rewriting all the warning signs, like love would fix what wasn't fair. But distance doesn't appear suddenly, it builds in things we choose to miss, in half replies and empty presents, in moments we pretend exist. I thought confusion meant we'd make it, that unclear meant there was time. But now I see what I refused to see was always written in the lines. And every memory I revisit feels different than before, like I finally understand the language I couldn't read anymore. It wasn't hidden, I just wasn't ready to see it. I see it clearly now, every part I used to question, every silence, every distance, every quiet confession. I see it clearly now, and it hurts in a different way. Not because I don't understand it, but because I stayed anyway. When everything was already showing, the truth I didn't want to face, I see it clearly now. You weren't cruel, you weren't careless, but you weren't fully here with me. And I was too busy believing what I wanted us to be. I filled the gaps with expectations, I filled the silence with excuse, while you were slowly stepping backwards without saying what to do. Now I replay the conversations with the mind that's finally still, and I can hear what I ignored then, with the clarity that kills. It wasn't one defining moment, it was all the little signs. And I was blind in my devotion, thinking love would realign. Now the truth doesn't shock me, it just finally fits. I see it clearly now, every part I used to question, every silence, every distance, every quiet confession. I see it clearly now, and it hurts in a different way. Not because I don't understand it, but because I stayed anyway. When everything was already showing, the truth I didn't want to face, I see it clearly now. Clarity doesn't always heal you, sometimes it just removes the veil. And what you thought was accidental turns into a pattern you can't fail. I don't blame you for the ending, I don't even blame myself, but I wish I had this vision when we were something else. Because seeing doesn't fix the damage, it only tells you where it grew. And now I understand completely what I couldn't see with you. He was always there, used to think I needed answers. Now I realize I just needed honesty. I see it clearly now, and that clarity is everything. Is everything. You were standing in the doorway with that look I knew too well. Half of you was asking for me, half was saying farewell. I remember every second like a photograph that burns. You kept waiting for an answer, I kept waiting for my turn. There were words behind my silence, there were tears behind my eyes, but I kept them all imprisoned and watched another chance go by. I thought there would be another morning, another night to make things right. I didn't know forever sometimes leaves without a goodbye. Now every memory keeps asking me the question I can't outrun. I should have said something when you were still listening, when your heart was still reaching, when your love was still holding on. I should have said something before the distance grew between us, before the quiet defeated us, before you had to move on. Now all the words I never gave you keep echoing after you're gone. I should have said something. Never asked for perfect answers, you never asked for guarantees. You only wanted honesty, the truth that I refused to speak. I hid behind the fear of hurting, I hid behind my pride instead. But silence has a sharper edge than anything I could have said. From saying nothing at all, how a love can slowly disappear without a fight, without a call. I see the warning signs so clearly, the ones I chose not to believe, thinking time would solve the problem, while time was teaching you to leave. If I could relive one moment, I know exactly where I'd start. I should have said something when you were still listening, when your heart was still reaching, when your love was still holding on. I should have said something before the distance grew between us, before the quiet defeated us, before you had to move on. All the words I never gave show it even when I pushed away. Maybe it wouldn't change the ending, maybe we'd still break apart. But at least you would have known everything inside my heart. I should have said something before your footsteps faded, before our future disappeared, before our story changed. I should have said something before regret became my shadow, before these empty rooms became the only thing remaining. Now every night I hear the silence, and every silence feels so wrong, because all this time the words were there, I just never said them. The hardest thing about losing you is knowing it wasn't because I had nothing to say. It's because I said nothing at all. I used to think that staying silent was the gentlest thing to do. Keep the peace, avoid the tension, protect the fragile parts of you. So I swallowed all my questions and buried every fear I had. Turned my worries into whispers, pretended everything was fine. You'd ask me if I was okay, I'd smile and say that I was strong. But behind every simple answer was a truth I'd hidden for too long. I thought love could read my mind somehow. I thought you know without a word. But hearts don't heal through assumptions, and feelings don't survive unheard. I wasn't trying to deceive you, I just didn't know how to be honest with myself. I stayed quiet too often when I should have let you in, when I should have told you what was breaking beneath my skin. I stayed quiet too often and watched the distance slowly grow. Now I'm left with all the things I wish I'd let you know. Maybe silence sounded safer, but it cost us more than I imagined. I stayed quiet too often. There were nights I needed comfort, but I convinced myself to cope alone. There were moments I felt lonely, sitting right beside the one I loved. You weren't perfect, neither was I, but you deserved a chance to understand, instead of trying to decode my sadness. While I kept hiding where I stand, I built walls out of hesitation, brick by brick, year after year, never realizing every layer made it harder for you to reach me here. And every conversation avoided became another locked door, until even the simplest feelings felt impossible to explore. Looking back, I see the difference between being calm and being closed. I stayed quiet too often when I should have let you in, when I should have told you what was breaking beneath my skin. I stayed quiet too often and watched the distance slowly grow. Now I'm left with all the things I wish I often. If I could sit across from you again, I wouldn't choose the easy answers. I wouldn't hide behind "I'm fine" or wait for the perfect moment. I'd tell you when I felt scared, I'd tell you when I felt lost, I'd tell you when I needed you, before the distance became a habit, before the quiet became our language, before we forgot how to reach each other. I thought silence would protect us, but it only hid the pain. And what stays hidden long enough eventually remains. I stayed quiet too often, till the words became too heavy, till the feelings overflowed in places they didn't belong. I stayed quiet too often, believing there would always be tomorrow. Another chance to explain, another chance to be vulnerable, another chance to be known. Now every memory reminds me, love isn't built by perfect words, it's built by the courage to speak imperfect truths before it's too late. The hardest thing to admit is not that I had feelings I never shared. It's knowing some of the distance between us was created by my silence, and I stayed quiet far too often. I tried too late. I started trying when it was quiet, when you had already gone halfway. I thought I could still reach the version of us that didn't drift away. I fixed things that were already broken. I spoke words you couldn't hear. I showed up when the room felt empty, but you had already disappeared. It's strange how love becomes urgent only when it starts to end. Like I needed the losing of you to become a reason to defend. But by the time I finally changed, by the time I finally saw, you were no longer standing where I left you. You weren't there at all. I waited for the moment to act, but the moment never waited back. I tried too late, when everything was already faded. I tried too late, when nothing was worth saving. I reached for you in the ending, while you were already gone. I tried too late, and now I live with what went wrong. I thought effort could reverse it, but time had moved on without me. I tried too late. There were signs I didn't follow, there were chances I let pass, thinking love would always linger, thinking it would always last. But silence grows into distance, and distance turns into goodbye. And I only started running when there was nothing left inside. You weren't cruel in your departure, you were simply already done. While I was learning how to fight for us, you were learning how to run. And now I see it wasn't you'd still be here. But I waited for certainty and lost you in the fear. I tried too late when everything was already fading. I tried too late when nothing was worth saving. I reached for you in the ending while you were already gone. I tried too late, and now I live with what went wrong. I thought effort could reverse it, but time had moved on. Without me, I tried too late. And I don't blame you for leaving. I blame the version of me that thought love could be repaired whenever I finally see. But some doors don't open backward, some hearts don't wait in place. And I learned that truth too slowly to ever change your face. Now all I have is reflection of a timing I can't undo, a love I finally understood after I already lost you. I showed up after the ending when nothing could remain. And now I carry the silence of a love I tried in vain. I tried too late, and that's the truth I'm facing. No more excuses left to hide behind. No more rewriting what is breaking. I tried too late when you had already let go, and I was still believing there was somewhere left to go. Now I understand the ending wasn't sudden, wasn't new. I tried too late, and I lost you. I thought trying meant saving, but sometimes it only means you arrive at the truth after it has already left. I told myself I still had time, that nothing real could slip away, that love would wait for me patiently until I found the words to say. So I watched the moments passing like they were never going to end. Every chance I had to reach you, I said I'd do it soon again. You were trying to stay connected, I was always half elsewhere, thinking feelings could be handled later, like they were always going to be there. And I didn't see the distance forming in the quiet between us two, 'cause I believed that what we had was something time wouldn't undo. But time doesn't wait for understanding, and silence doesn't stay the same. I waited too long to say what I was feeling. I waited too long to start the healing. And now I'm standing here alone with words I can't reach you with anymore. I waited too long, and love walked out the door. I thought I had forever, but forever wasn't sure. I waited too long. There were nights I almost told everything I kept inside, but fear would always talk me out of it, saying, not tonight, not right. I thought I was protecting us by holding everything in place, but all I did was delay the truth and let it slowly erase. You didn't leave in one big moment, you left in pieces I ignored. Every time I chose tomorrow over what we needed before, and now I see it in reflection, so clear it almost hurts to breathe. The love I thought would always wait stopped waiting for me. If I had spoken when I felt it, maybe we'd still be here today. I waited too long to say what I was feeling. I waited too long to start the healing, and now I'm standing here alone with words I can't reach you with anymore. I waited too long, and love walked out the door. I thought I had forever, but forever wasn't sure. I waited too long. I keep replaying every moment where I could have changed our fate. A sentence left unspoken, a truth I chose to delay. And I know it wouldn't fix everything, maybe we'd still fall apart, but at least you would have known me before I lost your heart. Now all I have is realization and a silence I can't escape, that the only thing that truly left us was the time I never made. I kept thinking there was more time, but time never waits for love. And now I'm learning the hard way what silence is made of. I waited too long, and now it's over. I waited too long to hold you closer. Every word I save for later is the reason you're not here. I waited too long, and now regret is all I hear. If I had just been braver, if I had just been near, maybe we'd still be something instead of disappearing here. I thought I had forever, but forever had a limit, and I found out too late when you were already finished waiting for me. We were good at all the easy moments, the late night drives, the laughing in the dark, the photographs, the little celebrations, the beautiful beginning of our hearts. We knew how to hold each other closely when nothing stood between us and the light. But every time a storm came through the doorway, we found a way to say we'd be alright. You changed the subject when it started hurting. I tell myself it wasn't worth the fight, and every issue left there in the silence was waiting for another night. We kept choosing comfort over honesty, thinking time would somehow do the work. We avoided the hard parts, the conversations that could have changed everything, the questions we were scared to answer, the truth hiding underneath. We avoided the hard parts and watched the distance slowly grow. Now we're standing in the wreckage of things we never chose to know. We thought love would carry us through, but love needed us too. There were worries underneath your smile, there were fears behind the words I used, but neither one of us wanted to be vulnerable. Neither one of us wanted to lose. So we kept protecting our emotions, building walls we thought would keep us safe, never realizing every brick we added was pushing us further away. And every small misunderstanding turned into something we ignored, till all the little things we left unfinished became too heavy to avoid. Now I see the pattern so clearly, like footprints leading to the end, 1,000 tiny moments asking us to heal, that we never let begin. Maybe love wasn't asking for perfection, maybe it was asking for courage. We avoided the hard parts, the conversations that could have changed everything, the questions we were scared to answer, the truth hiding underneath. We avoided the hard parts and watched the distance slowly grow. Now we're standing in the wreckage of things we never chose to know. We thought love would carry us through, but love needed us too. Without breaking, or maybe we'd still have fallen apart, but at least we would have known. We gave our hearts every chance. We were scared of the hard parts, and they became the ending. We avoided the hard parts until they became the only parts left. The silence got louder than our promises, the distance got stronger than our love. We avoided the hard parts, believing tomorrow would make it easier, but tomorrow kept becoming tomorrow, until there was nothing left to save. Now I carry all these lessons from a story I still adore. Sometimes hearts don't break from one mistake, sometimes they break from everything we never faced before. If I could tell our younger selves one thing, it wouldn't be love harder, it would be don't run from the hard parts. They're usually where love needs you most. I remember how the room got quiet, not because there was nothing left to say, but because we both got tired of trying and let the distance find its way. You were standing right beside me, still somehow 1,000 miles away. I thought tomorrow would be kinder, now tomorrow feels too late. I replay the little moments, the questions that I never asked, the nights we sat inside the silence, hoping somehow it would pass. And every memory reminds me love was never really gone. We just kept closing every window till there was no light to hold on. Maybe we were both afraid of what the truth would finally bring, so we buried all our feelings under ordinary things. We could have talked more before the walls got higher, before the hurt got stronger, before we lost the fire. We could have stayed up all night, saying what we couldn't say before. Maybe we'd still be standing here if we could have talked more. Now the echoes fill the spaces where your voice used to restore everything we couldn't say. We could have talked more. I can see it so much clearer, looking back from where I stand. All the chances left between us, slipping slowly through our hands. You weren't asking me for perfection, you just wanted me to hear all the things hidden behind your smile, all the worries and the fear. And I wasn't any better, I kept carrying my own pain alone, building careful little fences around a heart that once felt home. Now the words I should have spoken hang like shadows in the air, and every road that leads behind me shows me how we got here. Maybe love doesn't disappear, maybe people lose the way, and by the time they start searching, there's nothing left to say. We could have talked more before the walls got higher, before the hurt got stronger, before we lost the fire. We could have stayed up all night, saying what we couldn't say before. Maybe we'd still be standing here if we could have talked more. Now the echoes fill the spaces where your voice used to restore everything we couldn't say. We could have talked more. If I could go back to those unfinished conversations, I'd sit beside you without running, without fear, without hesitation. I'd tell you when I felt broken, I'd ask you how you really were. I'd stop pretending we were fine when we were slowly coming apart. Maybe we would have cried together, maybe we would have fought some more, but at least we know we tried. At least we know we could have talked more when our hearts were still open, before every promise faded, before every dream was broken. We could have held on a little longer, we could have found what we were searching for. Maybe goodbye would have never happened if we could have talked more. And now I carry all these questions like letters washed up on the shore, wondering if there was a future. just beyond one conversation more. One conversation more. I still hear your name sometimes in the quiet after the storm, and every time I do, I think we could have talked more. We called it just a phase at first, like time would gently make it right. But silence has a way of growing when no one wants to start the fight. You saw the cracks, I saw them too, but we both looked the other way, thinking love would do the fixing if we just waited one more day. We got so good at avoiding what we were scared to confess, that every unresolved moment turned into something we could impress. And I remember how we smiled while everything was coming apart. Two people standing in the same room, but miles inside the heart. We thought ignoring meant surviving, but it only made it worse. We didn't fix it, we just learned how to live around it. We didn't fix it, we just kept pretending we found it. The truth we never said out loud, the love we never fully gave. We didn't fix it, and now there's nothing left to save. It didn't break in one moment, it broke in everything we delayed. We didn't fix it. There were conversations we postponed, like they'd still be there someday. But someday turned into distance, we couldn't talk our way away. You waited for me to open up, I waited for you to begin, and neither of us ever realized we were locking each other in. It wasn't anger that destroyed us, it was comfort disguised as peace, the kind that slowly numbs the truth until the truth starts to leave. Now every memory is louder than the silence we once knew, because I finally understand what we refused to do. We didn't fall apart suddenly, we just stopped holding on. We didn't fix it, we just learned how to live around it. We didn't fix it, we just kept pretending we found it. The truth we never said out loud, the love we never fully gave. We didn't fix it, and now there's nothing left to save. It didn't break in one moment, it broke in everything we delayed. We didn't fix it. Maybe we were meant to last, maybe that was always true, but I keep thinking about the version where we actually tried to. Not perfectly, not easily, but honestly, without fear, instead of letting silence do what we never said was clear. Because the hardest part of losing us isn't that we fell apart, it's knowing we had every chance and still chose not to start. We kept just a slow and quiet drift. We didn't fix it, and that is the final shift. If I could go back now, I wouldn't change everything. I just change the moment. We both stopped trying to fix it. We stood on opposite sides of the same room, both waiting for the other to move, both holding on to our own reasons, certain we had something to prove. You had your hurt, I had mine, neither willing to let them go. We kept defending our positions while the distance continued to grow. There were moments I almost crossed over, moments I nearly reached your side. But pride can sound a lot like protection when fear is hiding deep inside. And every time we had the chance to choose understanding over blame, we walked away with our defenses, and nothing ever changed. We weren't enemies, we were just two hurting people, waiting to be understood. We didn't meet in the middle, we stayed where it felt safe, holding on to our perspectives while love slowly slipped away. We didn't meet in the middle when it mattered the most, and now all that's left between us are the bridges we never built and the roads we never chose. We didn't meet in the middle. I wanted you to see my struggles, you wanted me to see your pain, but somewhere in all the misunderstanding we forgot we wanted the same thing. You thought I wasn't listening, I thought you stopped trying, and every conversation became a courtroom instead of a place for healing. Nobody was completely right, nobody was completely wrong, but every unresolved argument made the silence last a little longer. Looking back, I see two people standing at the edge of compromise, both hoping the other would come closer, and neither realizing we both needed to. Sometimes love doesn't need a winner, sometimes it needs two people willing to bend. We didn't meet in the middle, we stayed where it felt safe, holding on to our perspectives while love slowly slipped away. We didn't meet in the middle when it mattered the most, and now all that's left between us are the bridges we never built and the roads we never chose. We didn't meet in the middle. Maybe meeting in the middle would have meant letting go of being right. Maybe it would have meant listening longer instead of preparing another reply. Maybe it would have meant admitting that we were both afraid that underneath all the frustration we were just trying not to break. And maybe we still would have ended, maybe some stories don't survive, but I think about the possibility of what could have happened if we'd met each other halfway. Just one more time. Halfway wasn't far Friendships don't fall apart because people stop caring. Sometimes they fall apart because neither one gets close enough to where healing starts. If I could rewrite one chapter, it wouldn't be the ending. It would be all the moments before, when we stood a few steps apart, and neither of us crossed the distance to meet in the middle. I tried in my own quiet way. You tried in yours, but not with me. We lived in separate conversations, calling it compatibility. I thought I was holding on enough. You thought you were already gone, and neither of us stopped to question how far apart we'd become. We weren't really fighting each other, we were just fighting alone, inside the same collapsing story, neither willing to come home. And I kept waiting for your effort, while you were waiting for mine too. But we never made it to the same place at the same time, me and you. We didn't fail from lack of love, we failed from lack of us. We didn't try together, we only tried apart. Two people in the same ending, with different starting hearts. We didn't try together, and that changed everything we were. Because love needs more than feeling, it needs two people who prefer to stay in the same direction, even when it's hard to do. We didn't try together, that's how we lost the truth. I remember all the almost moments where we could have met halfway, but pride would speak a little louder than anything we'd say. You thought I should understand you, I thought you should understand me. But understanding doesn't happen without vulnerability. We build assumptions like bridges, then watch them slowly break. Each of us standing on our side, too afraid to give or take. And now I see it wasn't distance that pulled us far apart. It was two separate efforts, never learning how to start. Maybe we loved in parallel, but never intersected. We didn't try together, we only tried apart. Two people in the same ending, with different starting hearts. We didn't try together, and that changed everything we were. Because love needs more than feeling, it needs two people who prefer to stay in the same direction, even when it's hard to do. We didn't try together, that's how we lost the truth. Maybe if we had been honest, not just with words but with presence, we could have learned each other's language instead of building our defenses. But we treated love like something that would fix itself with time, not knowing it needs choosing every single line. And I the end of that day. We were close but never closer, always one step out of sync. And now I understand the distance was never what we think. We didn't try together, and that's the hardest part. Not the ending, not the leaving, but the separate beating hearts. We didn't try together, so we couldn't make it through. And now I know what broke us was never just me or you. It was the space we never closed, the words we never said. We didn't try together, and now we're both ahead of something we never built, but always thought we knew. We didn't try together, and that's the truth. Some love doesn't fail from distance, it fails from direction. We didn't try together, and that was the connection we lost. It started with the smallest moments, things we didn't think to name. A quieter good morning text, a look that didn't feel the same. Nothing loud enough to notice, nothing sharp enough to break, just little shifts in conversation we both assumed would fade away. You stopped laughing at my stories, I stopped asking how your day had been, and we called it being busy, not knowing what it really meant. Every small thing felt harmless, like dust you don't see at first, but we were building something heavy without ever knowing its worth. We thought if it wasn't big enough to fight about, it wasn't big enough to matter. We let small things grow into distance we couldn't measure, one quiet change at a time. We lost what we used to treasure. We let small things grow until they filled up every space, and by the time we noticed, there was nothing left to save. It didn't fall all at once, it just slowly slipped away. There were unanswered messages that turned into unanswered feelings, small misunderstandings we kept pretending weren't revealing. You said I was overthinking, I said you were pulling back, but neither one of us admitted we were losing what we had. We chose peace over honesty, comfort over the truth, and every tiny hesitation became a distance between me and you. Now I see it in reflection, like footprints in the sand, 1,000 little decisions neither of us planned. We didn't notice the ending because it never looks like one. We let small things grow into distance we couldn't measure, one quiet change at a time. We lost what we used to treasure. We let small things grow until they filled just slowly slipped away. I wish we had named them earlier, the things we chose to ignore, instead of letting silence become heavier than before. Maybe we could have fixed it in one honest conversation, but we kept postponing clarity for the sake of hesitation. And now I understand too late what I couldn't see before. Love doesn't break from one moment, it breaks from 1,000 more. It wasn't sudden, we were slow. And by the time we felt it, it already let go. We let small things grow and called it nothing serious, until the space between us became too obvious. We let small things grow, and now they define what we lost. Every little silence had a hidden cost. We thought love would stay the same, even if we did nothing at all. But small things kept growing until they became the fall. It wasn't one moment that ended us, it was everything we didn't stop, while it was still small enough to save. It didn't happen all at once. There wasn't one night that changed everything. No shattered glass, no final warning, no moment that made the ending clear. It started with the little disappointments, the ones we promised we'd talk through. But every time the timing wasn't perfect, we found another reason not to. You carried your frustrations quietly, I hid my worries just the same. Both of us trying to keep the peace while adding fuel to a hidden flame. And every unresolved feeling found a place to stay inside, growing heavier with every silence we left behind. We thought we were protecting each other, but we were only protecting the problem. We let things build up, one conversation at a time, one hurt left unspoken, one truth left behind. We let things build up till the weight was more than we could hold, and all the little things we ignored turned into mountains in our souls. We never meant to lose each other, we just let things build up. I remember all the almost moments, the times we stood on the edge of honesty, when I could have told you what I was feeling, when you could have shared what was underneath. But we kept saying it's not important, we kept saying we'll be okay, not knowing every postponed conversation was slowly pulling us away. You were my enemy and I was never yours, but somewhere between protecting ourselves and protecting our pride, we forgot what we were fighting for. Now I look moment to bloom. If we'd opened our hearts sooner, maybe the cracks would have stayed small. We let things build up, one conversation at a time, one hurt left unspoken, one truth left behind. We let things build up till the weight was more than we could hold, and all the little things we ignored turned into mountains in our souls. We never meant to lose each other. We just let things build up. Now I understand love doesn't always end with betrayal. Sometimes it ends with accumulation. Tiny pieces of sadness, tiny pieces of disappointment, tiny pieces of loneliness, stacked so carefully neither person notices until the foundation starts to break. And by then, you're not carrying one problem anymore. You're carrying years. Oh, we kept saving it for later, and later never came. The weight kept growing till it had our name. We let things build up till every room felt different, till every touch felt distant, till every promise felt warm. We let things build up and thought we'd always have more time to fix what needed fixing, to say what needed saying, to heal what needed healing. Now all that's left are echoes of the people we used to be, and the painful understanding that losing us wasn't one moment. It was 1,000 small moments we never set free. If love taught me anything, it's this: the things left unsaid never disappear. They wait, they grow, and eventually they become the story. There were moments we almost fixed it, small windows where we could have turned. A look, a pause, a deeper question every time it started to burn. But we always found a reason to leave it for another day, thinking time would do the healing while we slowly drifted away. You'd reach for me, then hesitate. I'd start to speak, then hold it back, and every almost conversation just quietly faded into black. We were never far from saving us, just never close enough to try. And now I see those fragile seconds were where we learned to say goodbye. We were standing right beside it, but never stepped inside. We missed our chances, the ones that could have changed it all. We missed our chances before the silence built the wall. Every almost turned into never, every now turned into too late. We missed our chances and left it all to fate. We didn't fall in one moment, we just didn't reach when we should have. I remember the turning points, the nights we almost stayed up late, talking through what really mattered instead of saying it's okay. The comfort felt like safety, and honesty felt like too much. So we chose the easier silence over the harder kind of trust. You thought I would come around, I thought you'd break the quiet first, and both of us kept waiting for the other to reverse. Now those misconnections haunt me like echoes I can't undo. Every time I think of us, I see what we could have been too. Maybe love didn't leave us, we just let it pass us by. We missed our chances, the ones that could have changed it all. We missed our chances before the silence built the wall. Every almost turned into never, every now turned into too late. We missed our chances and left it all to fade. Didn't fall in one moment, we just didn't reach when we should've. It wasn't one goodbye, it was 1,000 paused beginnings. Every time we chose not now, we were quietly quitting. And I don't blame you fully, and I don't blame myself the same, because sometimes love doesn't end, it just forgets to stay. And if I could go back, I wouldn't change everything we were. I'd just reach out 1 second sooner before we lost each other. Of what we failed to become. We missed our chances, and the story is done. Some endings don't feel like endings, they feel like moments we just never return. I kept noticing the small changes, the way you stopped asking about my day, the way my voice became background noise. You learned to tune away. I told myself you were just busy, that life had pulled you somewhere far. But deep down I was counting moments you stopped showing who you are. It wasn't loud enough to argue, it wasn't sharp enough to break, just a slow disappearance of effort. I pretended not to see or feel awake, and I kept giving you the benefit of doubts you never tried to clear. While I was still holding on to us, you were already not here. I made excuses for your silence. You made no effort to explain. You didn't care enough wasn't confusion, it wasn't timing, it wasn't luck. You just didn't care enough. I remember all the empty effort, the one-word replies at night, the way you stopped trying to fix things even when they didn't feel right. I wasn't asking for perfection, just presence, honesty, truth. But you gave me half attention, like I was optional to you. And I stayed longer than I should have, trying to make it make sense. But love can't survive on one side, no matter how much you invest. Now I see it in reflection, how clearly it was shown. I wasn't losing someone slowly, I was loving someone already gone. And maybe I should have left sooner, but I kept hoping you'd return. You didn't care enough to notice I was falling. You didn't care enough to hear me when I was calling. I kept reaching for connection while you kept letting it go. You didn't care enough, and now I finally know. It wasn't confusion, it wasn't timing, it wasn't luck. You just didn't care enough. I don't even hate you for it, because hate still feels like love. And I'm tired of holding on to something that wasn't enough. Maybe you cared in your own way, just not enough to stay aware, not enough to meet me halfway, not enough to show you were there. And that truth hurts more than anger, more than anything I feel, because at least anger means something, but this just made it real. I kept trying to be enough for two, while you stayed halfway through. And now I understand the ending was never me, it was you. You didn't care enough, and I stopped pretending. Oh, you didn't care enough, and that became the ending. I thought I was losing love, but I was losing what you never gave. Oh, you didn't care enough, and there's nothing left to save. No big explosion, just a quiet letting go. You didn't care enough, and now I finally know. I kept asking myself what I did wrong, but sometimes the answer is simpler. You didn't care enough, and I care too much for both of us. I was still finding my words for us, still trying to understand what went wrong, still believing if I stayed a little longer, we could fix what felt off all along. I thought love had a slower ending, that it faded with a little warning sign, but you were already halfway out the door while I was still calling you mine. replay the nights I hesitated, every truth I swallowed back down, while you were already untying us without making a single sound. I didn't know I was late to a race. I didn't know you'd already run. I was still holding on to forever while you were done. I thought I had time to reach you, but you didn't leave me any. You didn't wait at all, not even for me to understand. You didn't wait at all, you let it slip right through my hands. I was still building a future, you were already letting it fall. You didn't wait at all, and that's what hurt most of all. No warning, no pause, no turning around, just silence. Where we used to call, you didn't wait at all. I see it clearer in hindsight now. Every moment I chose later instead, while you were slowly disappearing from the space we used to tread. You stopped asking how I was feeling. You stopped looking me in the eye, and I mistook your distance for patience, not knowing it was goodbye. I thought love would hesitate longer. I thought people needed time, but you made your decision quietly while I was still learning mine. Now I carry all the almost, all the things I never said, but you were already gone from the story before it left my head. If I had known it was ending, I would have run to you faster, but you were already finished before I even asked her. You didn't wait at all, not even for me to understand. You didn't wait at all, you let it slip right through my hands. I was still building a future, you were already letting it fall. You didn't wait at all, and that's what hurt most of all. No warning, no pause, no turning around, just silence. Where we used to call, you didn't wait at all. I don't even blame you for leaving. Maybe you knew what I didn't see, but I wish I had one moment where you were still here with me. Not halfway gone in your silence, not already out of reach. Just one moment where we were both present before you became history. Because the truth I live with now is heavier than regret. You didn't leave slowly, you left already, and I just hadn't caught up yet. You didn't wait at all, while I was still learning how to love you. You didn't wait at all, before I even knew what to do. I was still saying just a little more time. You were already letting it fall. You didn't wait at all, and I still feel it in my soul. Some endings don't announce themselves, they just quietly close the door. You didn't wait at all, and I'm still standing where you were before. I always thought I was the one behind, but now I understand. You weren't ahead of me, you were already gone before I even started to run. I was still learning how to hold a still figuring out what went wrong. Still believing we had time to fix it, still thinking you'd stay a bit long. I wasn't done understanding the pieces you never showed, but you were already halfway leaving before I even got close. I keep replaying the moment when your presence started to fade, and I wonder if I missed the turning where everything changed its shape. You didn't wait for the answers, you didn't stay for the fight. You were already gone in pieces while I was still holding on tight. I wasn't ready to lose you, but you were already gone. You left too early before I could catch up to the truth. You left too early before I knew what to do. I was still standing in the middle of a love I couldn't save alone. You left too early, and now I'm on my own. No warning I could understand, no time to hold you through. You left too early, and I never got to you. There were signs I see more clearly now that everything is still. The shorter talks, the empty pauses, the distance I couldn't feel. You were slowly disappearing while I called it just a phase, thinking love would always anchor but was already drifting away. And I keep asking myself softly, if I had known, would I have tried, or would I still have been too late? Even if I ran this time, because you weren't standing, waiting, you were already halfway gone, and I was still believing we were something still ongoing. Maybe I needed warning, but you never gave me one. You left too early before I could catch up to the truth. You left too early before I knew what to do. I was still standing in the middle of a love I couldn't save alone. You left too early, and now I'm on my own. No warning I could understand, no time to hold you through. You left too early, and I never got to you. I don't know if staying longer would have changed where we land, but I wish I had one moment where I still had your hand. Not faded, not halfway gone, not already in goodbye. Just one more second of us before the reason to try. Because losing you so suddenly feels like missing half the story, like I opened the last chapter before I read the glory. You were already leaving before I could begin, and now I'm left with echoes of where we might have been. You left too early, and I'm still learning how to breathe. You left too early, you left too early before I knew what you meant Maybe you didn't leave early, maybe I just arrived late, but it feels like you were gone before I knew your fate. I still think about you sometimes, not in the way I used to do. Not with hope, not with waiting, just a memory passing through. I don't reach for your name anymore, I don't reread what you said, but every now and then it comes back in the quiet inside my head. And I wonder if you ever think of me, or if I faded like I feared, if I became just another moment you stopped carrying after years. It's strange how love turns into distance without a sound, without a fight, just two people moving forward in completely different light. And maybe that's the truth I avoided, even when I didn't want to know. You probably don't think about me anymore, not when the night gets heavy, not when it hurts like before. You probably don't carry my name in your mind, and I'm learning how to be okay with being left behind. No anger, no blame, no story left to tell, just a quiet place where we used to be well. You probably don't. Stop checking old conversations, stop searching for hidden signs, because clarity doesn't always heal you, sometimes it just realigns. We were never meant to stay frozen in the version I held so tight. And maybe you moved on honestly, without looking back in spite. I used to think forgetting meant failure, like love should always remain, but now I understand it differently. Not everything is meant to stay, and I don't need you to return anymore. I don't need answers from the past, I just needed time to accept it. Nothing broken was meant to last, and maybe I was holding on to something already letting go. You probably don't think about me anymore, not when the night gets heavy, not when it hurts like before. You probably don't carry my name in your mind, and I'm learning how to be okay with being left behind. No anger, no blame, no story left to tell, just a quiet place where we used to be well. You probably don't. I used to imagine you missing me like I was missing you too, but time has a way of rewriting what hearts think they knew. And maybe that's what healing is, not forgetting what we had, but no longer needing you to feel it, to know it was once real. So I let the thought drift further without pulling it back in, because not every ending needs a beginning again. It used to hurt to imagine, but now it just feels true. Maybe you don't remember, and I don't need you to. You probably don't, and that's okay now. No more chasing I thought that would break me, but it didn't. It just ended the part of me that needed you to still be looking back. At first it was hard to notice. The changes came so quietly. You still called, you still smiled, but something felt different underneath. The spaces between our conversations started getting longer every day. And every time I reached toward you, you seemed a little further away. I kept telling myself it was temporary, just a season we were passing through. But deep inside I felt the distance growing between me and you. I waited for you to tell me something. I waited for the truth to arrive. But while I was trying to hold us together, you were learning how to say goodbye. Maybe you didn't mean to hurt me. Maybe you didn't know how to stay. You pulled away instead of telling me what was wrong, instead of letting me beside you when things got hard for too long. You pulled away instead and left me guessing every night, trying to fix a problem you kept hidden from my side. I would've listened, I would've stayed, but you pulled away instead. I remember all the little moments when I felt you slipping through my hands. The shorter answers, the tight excuses, the changes I didn't understand. You said everything was fine, even when your eyes said something else. And I wanted so badly to believe you that I ignored how it felt. Maybe you thought you were protecting me. Maybe you thought silence was kind. But unanswered questions have a way of staying long after goodbye. Now I replay every memory, searching for the place it began. The moment your heart started leaving, while I was still making plans. And what hurts the most isn't losing you, it's never knowing when I lost you. You pulled away instead of telling me what was wrong, instead of letting me beside you when things got hard for too long. You pulled away instead and left me guessing every night, trying to fix a problem you kept hidden from my side. I would've listened, I would've stayed, but you pulled away instead. If you told me you were struggling, I would've met you where you stood. If you told me you were hurting, I would've done everything I could, not to save us by myself, but to carry part of the weight. Because love was never supposed to be one person fighting while the other fades. And maybe we still would have fallen apart. Maybe this ending would have stayed the same, but at least I would have known we gave our hearts a chance. I kept reaching through the distance, walking in different directions. I still wonder what would have happened if you trusted me with the truth, if you'd let me see your struggle before it became your escape. Because losing you was painful, but watching you disappear without a word was harder to survive. Sometimes relationships don't end because love runs out. Sometimes they end because one person stops letting the other in. And slowly, without saying goodbye, you pulled away instead. I remember how you held me like nothing could pull us apart. You painted pictures of forever, then left shadows on my heart. I believed every promise, every word that crossed your lips. Never thought I'd have to question the truth inside your fingertips. You smiled while something changed inside you, long before I knew the truth. And while I was holding on to us, you were letting go of you. I wish I could say I never saw it, but deep down I probably did. I just kept choosing faith and hope while you kept choosing what to hide. And maybe that's what hurts the most, not that you changed your mind, but that you left me in the dark while you were saying everything was fine. You should have stayed honest. You should have told me when your heart began to leave. You should have stayed honest instead of giving me reasons to believe. I would have cried, I would have broken, but at least I would have known. Instead of standing in a story you had already outgrown. You should have stayed honest. I kept trying to fix the distance. You kept saying we were okay. Every time I asked the question, you found another way to stray. Looking back, I see the warning. The conversation's growing thin. The way your eyes stopped finding mine, the way the silence settled in. But I trusted what you told me more than what I felt inside. And every reassurance you gave me only made the truth easier to hide. Now I'm collecting all the pieces of a picture that was never whole, trying to understand the moment you stopped fighting for us both. If you had spoken from your heart, maybe we'd have ended differently. You should have stayed honest. You should have told me when your heart began to leave. You should have stayed honest instead of giving me reasons to believe. I would have cried, I would have broken, but at least I would have known. Instead of standing in a story that you had already outgrown. You should have stayed honest. I wasn't asking you for forever. I wasn't asking you to stay. I was only asking for the truth before it slipped away. Because the lie wasn't in your words, it wasn't everything you didn't say. The way you held my hand less tightly, the way you slowly drifted away. And maybe love was already ending, maybe nothing could be saved, but honesty could have Every promise feels unsure, and the hardest thing to live with is not that you stopped loving me, it's that you never told me when. If goodbye was always coming, I wish you would have trusted me with the truth. Because losing you hurt, but losing the truth with you